So I wanted to take some time today and talk about a tool that I've been using that's been really helpful and fun and saving a ton of material. And that's the RH Designs Zone Master 2. This Zone Master 2 kind of curtails off of the zone system that Ansel Adams is famous for. If you don't know about it, it's pretty cool, so check it out. There's a ton of cool material on YouTube. But what this does is allows you to measure the highlights and shadows or any important tones really, and then it gives you those measurements laid out on a grayscale. It allows you to adjust the exposure time and contrast to move those tones closer or further apart, really just to place them where you wish them to be on the grayscale. So what I thought would be cool is to maybe print an image today just to show you how I use it. It's very simple and easy to use, and I'm starting to learn how to use it more effectively. But yeah, I think the learning curve has been figuring out what to measure and then where to place it. So a lot of that is up to your tastes and how you like prints to look. So what I thought would be fun was yesterday Jen took actually it's right here. You guys remember this? The trusty old wooden box. This is my Intrepid 4x5 Mark II. Beautiful camera and beautifully made, and I love it so much. And so yesterday Jen and I, we were just making some portraits. I just wanted to try to make some very simple, low budget portraits. But this is actually one of the prints that I made yesterday. Jen took the picture, I made the prints. This is very much a collaborative project. This was printed on Ilford warm tone glossy fiber paper and selenium toned. And then I also did some bleaching by making up some very cyanide bleach with a cotton ball and rubbing it all over the face and washing it off and just kind of lightening it up and getting some nice kind of I'll show you here. Ooh, look at that. The detail is just exceptional. Jen did a great job on this portrait, and I'm very, very proud of this image, and the fact that we did it together makes it that much more special. So I thought since I've still got that negative in the carrier, I'll just bring it over to the baseboard and I'll show you how I measured up this particular negative, and then we'll make a print onto Ilford RC paper. Come on along and we'll get set up on the enlarger. It's important when you measure your negative that you're using white light, no filtration under the lens. Let's go ahead and turn the preview on here. I'm cropping a little just because the framing, I liked this a little bit more center. I'm not cropping much, just a little bit of the chest here, but kind of centering up the image here. And then I will grab our timer here. Let's go ahead and turn it on. You can see that there. So the first thing we're going to do is take a measurement of our highlights section, which is going to be these darker densities on the negative. So right about here, this is about the brightest part of the negative. So I'm going to go ahead and measure there. I'm going to hold this still and I'm just going to tap this button. It's going to take a measurement and it's going to place that tone on the scale. Now it doesn't place it where it thinks it belongs, it places it at the top end of the scale, and then later on we're going to tell that where to place it on the scale. And now we're going to also now measure our shadow area, which is going to be our background. Now let's measure the shadows, and it places our two tones on the scale. So let's go ahead and turn the enlarger off. Now what we can do is we can increase our exposure time and then mess with our contrast to place those tones where we want them to be. And just for the sake of having a little bit of light, let me get a little bit of light going on here. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase this contrast just a smidge. and then I'm going to push this exposure down, and you'll see both of those move. So highlights are adjusted by your exposure, and your overall or your print brightness and darkness, I should say, is dictated by your exposure. And then we can adjust our overall print contrast, you know, the whites and blacks with our contrast. So I'm going to move that to the dark end of the scale, and let's pull that back a little bit. So grade 2.5, and I think I like that on the skin tone. We'll look and see. And then I've got the background at the lowest zone there, but not off the chart. So if we push that a little bit further, now this would be further off the grayscale, and this would be pure black now rather than a little bit of detail. But we'll see how it turns out. So I'm going to put my grade 2.5 filter in the enlarger, and then we will see how we do. So with this cable plugged into the back of this, it automatically pipes the times to my RH Designs f-stop timer, and I will be doing a video on that too, and some of the ways in which I use that. But as you can see here, again, it snaps into battery power mode. Because I don't have this set up on a DC main, it has a battery saving feature built in, which is very handy because I have definitely left it on. So, grade 2.5, 5.2 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and fill up the trays, and let's see how this first print looks. We'll see how we did. And that's me. So this is literally what this tool does for me, is it allows me to get rid of test strips. It allows me to look at a negative, decide which tones are important to me, and then measure those tones and place them where I like. You don't really need a tool like this to make prints, but you can see just how powerful and effective it is at getting you the result that you want quickly. And one of the dynamite features of this piece of equipment that I'm enjoying is that resin-coated paper is a lot more affordable and easier to use and handle than fiber-based paper. And so there is a function that you can program different paper types into it, and when I'm ready to make a fiber-based print, all the work I've done programming in different times and measurements, and then the additional programmed steps like burning and dodging, when I change the paper type, all of that information and data is then adjusted to reflect the paper type that I'm using. And in the back of the manual, there's all different kinds of, the most popular kinds of paper that you can program in the different steps that will adjust for that paper type from the resin coated. And then the second point is that this is all up to you. This is all how you want your pictures to look, the style that you want. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no such thing as to this or to that or not enough this. People always will have opinions on your work, but it's important that you find your voice and your style, and at least find the things that inspire you and make you want to make more work. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to keep you making more work. And that's an important part of what makes you you. So yeah, I hope you guys are printing, taking photos, or being creative in whatever ways you are creative. But I really appreciate you watching the video and taking this journey with me as I stumble and fall through the darkroom. So thanks very much, and take care. So this is what it looks like when you print through the back of the paper instead of the proper side. I'm gonna try this one more time.